Morning, everybody. This is Josh with EFI. Let me open up the WebEx here.
Hi, Josh. Good morning.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Hey, Josh.
Good. I'm trying to.
Hello. What's that?
Trying to join the WebEx, but it's not letting me display it.
Is it trying to download a little app or something like that? If you haven't joined in a while, sometimes it'll try to download an app onto your Mac or your PC. But unless you have some type of firewall.
No, I'm good.
You can get on?
I do one like every other day.
And you're still having trouble?
Please continue. I'll keep working it at my end. Just want to let you know I'm trying to get in.
Does anybody else have any issues, or can you get to my screen?
I got you, Josh.
Just Miguel? Just you, Miguel.
Yeah.
Shocker. Good morning, Miguel.
Of course.
Good morning, everybody. We're going to start right at good morning, everybody. I am recording these, so I'm going to put these up on to some type of a YouTube channel. Again, we're going to keep these really short and sweet, and they're really just to help both salespeople and the analysts better understand different workflows, and also as EFI introduces new products and new updates and stuff like that. I'm just going to quickly go over one workflow per week. We'll save them if you guys want to come back to it. You'll have these recordings, and I can also send you the workflows or how to create these workflows. Because sometimes on the sales side, and I always start with kind of the sales side, and then I'll kind of jump over to the analyst side. We'll spend maybe about 7 minutes on the sales side and 7 minutes on the analyst side. In selling situations, a lot of times, if we don't know the problems that the customer is having, it really becomes a, what's our cost per click, or what's the difference between the Versant 80 and the 7110, and we got gold and we got silver, but they got white and they got this, or they're less expensive, so on and so forth, right? And you get battle this stuff every single day. And really sometimes if we take the conversation a little bit more upstream, this is an interesting slide. Almost all of our customers in production have these problems. These are the top problems as to why a PDF fails, and this was a study that InFocus did about a year ago, and they're the largest PDF editing company out there that a lot of companies use as they build different workflows into their RIPs. And if you look at these issues, I'm sure the analysts on the phone come across these every single day. The customer didn't embed the fonts into the file, so it either fails or it substitutes it and the file prints wrong. They have low-res images used. They're using RGB images coming out of Word or PowerPoint or Publisher, and it converts the black to CMYK, and now they're getting charged color clicks and stuff like that where they shouldn't. There's no bleed inside of a file, so the customer wants me to trim it, but they sent me a job that's 8.5:11. It's got no bleed. What am I supposed to do? How do I add the bleed? The customer's got to go back and recreate the file, or somebody has to do it. Transparency to overprint, so on and so forth. And these are just some of the problems. These are the top problems. The two problems I'm going to show you how to fix today are the no bleed issue, and also RGB being used inside these files, sometimes when people print out of Word and stuff like that. And hopefully you guys all know, but one of the big advantages that Xerox has when you guys sell an external firing is that all external firings come with a software called Imposition. What you may not know, though, is that when you get the Impose software, you also get a license of Acrobat Pro and Pit Stop Edit. And Pit Stop Edit is a very powerful program that allows me to actually fix some of these files. But what EFI has done is we're now shipping at no charge a free software called JobFlow. And if you want more information, I'm not going to go through everything with JobFlow, but if you just come to EFI.com, and if your customer wants to download this for free, they can just type in JobFlow in the search box. And the first one that comes up, it'll say Fiery JobFlow. And you can see here that they can get all the information and even download this, and there's some great videos that Cody's done basically with product briefing. What JobFlow allows me to do now, it allows me to quickly connect a pit stop action list with all of the functionality of the firing, my Impose, my color management, my image enhance, connecting it to Dropbox, different things like that. So let me show you some of the problems that customers run into every day. Here's the file. It's a PDF file, and you'll notice if I flip through this file, it looks like a beautiful calendar. It looks like it has bleed, right? It looks like it's supposed to have bleed. However, when I actually click on this file and look to see how this person created it, there was actually no bleed. You can see the media box, the crop box, the trim box, the bleed box, and the art box are all the exact same size. Meaning if I print this, and I'm printing on a 1218 sheet, I don't have bleed built into this file, so I'm going to get a white border or not enough image to cut off, which is really quite the problem, right? And you can see this on other files too. This one's kind of a cool demo file that I stole from InFocus, because not only does it show that this file doesn't have bleed, if I come back over here and show the same thing, if I look at my inspector, all the trim boxes, media boxes are the same size, but this file actually is more complex in that there's grayscale images, I have lab images, I have Pantone images, monotone images, RGB images, CMYK, duotone, so on and so forth. And if I am creating bleed, how is it actually creating that bleed? Is it creating it properly? Meaning if I just have a monotone image, is it creating a CMYK bleed over here? Is it creating a monotone? And you can actually come over here and check this, and I'll show you once I run through the workflow and show you how powerful these workflows can be. So now that you know some of the problems, actually one more problem I'll show you that a lot of customers run into happens to deal with RGB images. So here's a file. It came out of Word. Customer's going to print 100 pages. This is a 100-page job. You can see I got the nice EFI logo on the front. On the second page, if I go through, there's some other color images, but the rest of the book is actually just grayscale. It's just black only, or it's supposed to be black only. The problem, of course, if I were to print this and the customer just says, wow, it looks like it's black, and of course they don't want the initial EFI logo on the front page to be black, so they can't go into the property settings and just change everything to grayscale, because then it's actually going to change my images on my first two pages to grayscale, and I don't want these grayscale. I want this to still come out the EFI blue. Maybe it's a spot or a CMYK. I just want to make sure that all of the following pages after that that are supposed to be black only are printing with a black click only. As a customer, I don't want to get charged a CMYK color click. And if I look at this file and I come over here and look at my eyedropper, you can see that this file here, this is a CMYK build of black. So this happens a lot out of different Word applications. You can see here that if I'm printing this, although it looks black on my screen, all 99 additional pages of this book, or whatever the book is going to be, are going to get printed CMYK. You can see right here, right? That's not what I want. Plus, I might even have some registration issues if I'm printing this and the text is really tight, right? And I'm actually dropping CMYK on this fine text. One of the quick fixes in HitStop, and I'll show you in a second how I tie this to my Fiery, is I actually have these couple different action lists. And one of the action lists in here is all black to real black. And all I have to do is come over here and click this run list and come back and see how it actually fits my file. So again, I didn't want to change the blue. The blue's still there, but now when I come back on the rest of the text, you'll see it took all of my CMYK and converted it to 100% black. Now I know that when I actually print this, I'm not going to get charged CMYK color clicks for all of the additional pages, so on and so forth. But I can even take this one step further, and this is where JobFlow comes in. So let me bounce over here. And again, JobFlow is a free download, but depending on what a client wants to do, there is a premium version. Okay, and I'm not going to get into that today. So if you guys need help with it, with configurations or doing demos, I'd be more than happy to help you. For those of you that are analysts on the phone, if you want more detailed training and stuff like that, we can also do that. We're going to keep these short. So you'll notice here I have a bunch of different workflows. 1117 calendar pick read. I have one called Dropbox. The cool thing about JobFlow is I can either tie it to a Fiery, but I can also push it out into external dot folders. I can even pull from Dropbox accounts or FTP accounts or different shared folders. So this is a unique way that a customer can send me a file. I can automatically maybe pre-flight fix it and then drop it back into another folder, maybe on Dropbox for the client to review or proof without me even touching it. And let me show you how I can do that. So I'm going to take that one file that didn't have any bleed, and I'm going to show you this file here. You can see it says Dropbox fix bleed. What it's going to do, any file that I have, whether it's a Word or PowerPoint or Excel, first off, it's going to convert it to a print-ready PDF. It's then going to check to see if there's bleed boxes in that file. If not, it's going to add bleed, and then it's going to send the file actually back to a Dropbox account where somebody can actually review it, okay? And if I click on this, I can actually see this workflow right here. And this is what I'm going to walk you through. So I'm going to come over to my Dropbox account. You can also set this up with other FTP accounts. So if a customer doesn't have Dropbox, but they have a lot of our customers already have a localized FTP site, you can do the same thing. It's the same workflow. And I'll show you it's fairly simplistic to set up. So you notice here I have a folder called Apps. And under Apps, I have this folder called JobFlow. And now when I create these different workflows, I can broadcast whatever workflows I want to a Dropbox folder. And here I have one called Fiery Central. And this one I just broadcasted one. It's called Dropbox Fix Bleed. And if I come over here and click on this, now I'm going to play the role of a client. The client has a file, and they're going to drop it in. And this happens every single day all across the country and the world with customers. This is how they get files a lot of times to their production center or their client. I'm going to come over here to the file. I'm going to grab that same 1117 bleed images that the bleed wasn't in there. And I'm going to upload this file. So you can see here that's going to take about 8 seconds because keep in mind I'm on a wireless connection. I'm hitting my Dropbox account. I'm playing the role of the customer. They dropped in their folder. Now the production site that has the Xerox controller, they're going to come over here, and all of these jobs are going to start getting different queues. I'm also going to get emails now. So this is really important now because when a lot of times if people just drop something onto an FTP site, somebody has to constantly look on that FTP site to make sure files are there. When I drop something in these folders, they're automatically going into a queue, and based on what I'm telling that job to do, it's going to run it through workflow. It's going to pre-flight, maybe it's going to check for certain things. In this particular case, this workflow is going to fix the bleed, and then it's going to automatically send it back to Dropbox without me even touching it, but it's going to send me an email to let me know if everything was okay, right? So in this workflow, I'm not even touching it. I'm really just kind of, hey, I'm allowing the customer to send something in. I'm going to pre-flight the file. I'm going to check for things. I'm going to check for maybe low-res images. I'm going to check for bleed. If there's no bleed there, it's going to fix the bleed, and then it's going to send the file back to a folder where the customer can actually proof it. If everything looks good, then I can just immediately get it into production onto my Fiery or some other type of output device that I have. If the job were to error, I would actually see these different error codes here.
What do you
I
mean?
can come over here and I can view the reports.
What that mean?
So this is what it did to the particular file.
Francisco?
And now I'm going to come back over here and I could look at to make sure that everything, yep. And now if I go back to my Dropbox account.
I thought that's what you meant.
Hey, can you put yourself on mute, the person that's talking, *6? I don't want to mute everybody. If I come back over here, you'll see that I have an output. Dropbox fix bleed, and I should have a file in there. There it is, 46 seconds ago. If I look at this file, I can download this file, and I'm going to save it to my desktop so that you guys can see. See what the end result is. So here now, very different. You'll notice as I'm looking at this, I now have, let me blow it up a little bit, the proper bleed. There's my trim box in blue, there's my bleed box in turquoise, and there's the media box. Again, if I come over and look at this entire file where before all of my boxes were the same, you can see now that they're actually different. I have the proper bleed built into that because the workflow automatically added the bleed to that particular job. This is a common problem that customers have every single day, and very quickly I was able to fix that problem And you can see not only did it fix the bleed, but if I come back over here and look at my print production output preview and look at all of the CMYK, so this file actually has all types of different Pantones and everything, right? I come over here and uncheck these. You can see that it's applying the bleed accurately based on whether it was CMYK Pantone. And I can come over here and make sure that this file is correct. Okay, so let me bounce back over here. And I know we're running out of time at this point. So setting up these workflows are actually quite easy. I'm going to walk those that want to learn how to do this to set this up. And again, you can download this JobFlow license at no charge. You can't do everything with the basic license. Again, if you actually come back over here just to JobFlow and come over to these resources, there's actually a nice matrix that'll show you what's in the base and what's in the premium package, depending on what a client's trying to do. But the value now is that I've actually been able to take all of these action lists, and I've easily been able to combine them with the Fiery. So let me show you how you set up a workflow for the first time. We're going to come over here and call this test. I'm going to create this. My Fiery is actually restarting. Let me see, it might not create it. Let me come back over here and just show you how I set this one up. So you'll notice the first thing it's going to ask you for an input source, meaning where are you dropping these files in? Do you have an FTP site? Do you have a Dropbox account? If you do have Dropbox or want to set up an FTP, the admin person would come over here and they can just set it up based on location, right? So I can set it up by SMB, FTP, secure file transfer protocol, different Dropbox, and if you just click add Dropbox location or whatever your FTP username and password is, you could actually create different accounts that you can actually tie these workflows to, right? When you come back over here, if I look at this Dropbox fixed bleed, what's it doing? Well, somebody's going to drop a file into that folder. First thing it's going to do is it's going to convert that, and then it's automatically going to look to see if there's bleed. If there's no bleed, it's going to generate bleed, and then it's going to drop the file, the corrected file, back into Dropbox. But you might want to know, what else can I do to this file? Well, you can actually do a lot to this file. This is where it gets unique. And I can now actually color correct files. I can use my Fiery pre-flights. I can use all of my imposition templates if I have these set up. I can also come over here and use all of these correct modules built inside of Pitstop. So what is the customer trying to do? We've already done this. We've already done a lot of the legwork. So these are all common problems that our customers face every single day. And I can add these as options to this particular workflow. Hey, maybe I want to take a job coming out of publisher where the customer gave me 100 work, but the first page is 8.5, 11. The rest of the book is 11, 17, and then the back of the book is 11. If you try to impose that, it wouldn't impose properly, whether you're using a free flow, a Prio, a Fiery, whatever. You have to break that document up, and what I can do is it'll look through the file, take anything that's over 1117, cut it in half, and then properly automatically send it to my 1117 impose. So creating these workflows is actually very simple. You would just come over here and you would add whatever you want. Sharpen images, click add, and now I can actually start to build these workflows. Okay?
Hey, Josh, I apologize for whomever is talking in the background and not on mute. They clearly don't understand that they're disrupting the class.
That's all right. We're just about finished anyways, Miguel. I told you we're only going to keep these for 15 to 20 minutes. If you guys need this, this is a great conversational starter. I can send this to Miguel. When you're talking to your production client, sit down and show them this. Hey, Mr. Customer, this is what most customers have problems with PDF. Do you have any of these problems? And I can guarantee you they're going to say yes. Why? Because all of our customers that are printing production have these issues every single day. Why? Because their customers don't know how to create good PDF files, or they don't know what they're doing, or maybe they just sent them the wrong file. There's all types of problems that are happening every single day. And if we can take the conversation a little bit more upstream, we can start to show them how to automate and fix some of these problems before it gets to the firing. So again, I am recording these. I'm going to put them up on some type of YouTube channel. I'm not going to open it up for questions now. Again, I wanted to keep it short, sweet, 15 to 20 minutes. If you guys have any questions, ping me with an email. If you want to know how I set these workflows up, I can actually export these workflows also for those analysts that want to demo some of these things. You can see I have a number of ones that we're actually going to go through in the future. And if I do want to export these, it's very simple to import and export these jobs by coming over here and just clicking import and exporting. And it'll take all of the pit stop action list, everything that I created, the impos, as long as you have an impos license, it's going to create the imposition template and give you a zip file that now you can actually just import into JobFlow. And then you can get these workflows working and start demoing it for your clients. So again, we're going to do another one next week on Friday. We'll do something completely unique. Next time, I'm going to show you how to automate JPEG images and color correct everything and create personalized calendars with one click. And Miguel, thanks for sending the invite out, and for everybody else that joined. I'll catch up with you guys next week. Bye.
Thanks. Thank you, Josh. We really appreciate it. It looks like an automated workflow alternative that we can use that's already included with the firing. Thank you, Josh.